It's Evelyn here and welcome. In today's video, I am finishing a page in A Frog's Tale illustrated by R.J. Hampson. And this is the page that I am coloring for you today. I will be using Staedtler colored pencils. Are you ready? Let's go do this. If you were in my live stream or even watched the replay, you know that I did this background during the live stream. I chose Staedtler pencils because of a comment I received. And shout out to Shalina from Canada who said she loves Staedtler pencils. I wasn't going to color this page with Staedtler. I was going to use Prismacolors, but I feel more comfortable using my Staedtler, and that's what I'm using today. All right, let me pull you in a little bit so you can get a little bit up close and personal with the photo here. And the first thing that I'm going to start coloring is the background. So I'll color the background, the sky part first, and then I'll move on to the next element, which I will consider the trees and the leaves, all the, the greenery and flowers and stuff. And then I will move on. The last thing that I will color is the frog. I'm working my way from the outside to the inside of the page. I did a poll and I asked you, did you like watching coloring videos where a person is talking or you just like to hear music? I knew what the answer would be, but I just wanted to see if I was right. Most people like to hear you talk. And so that's what I'm doing in this video today. I'm going to try to talk as much as possible. I do have a slight cold, so I might not talk as much, but I'm going to try my best to continue to talk in this video. Now, I was going to use Prismacolors like I stated, but a nice comment came in from a nice lady who it happens to be from Canada. Shout out to Shalina in Canada and all that good stuff. She said that she really likes Staedtler, and plus they're economical. I like Staedtler too. And so I said, I think I'll use the Staedtler on this page because I had decided to use Prismacolors. But here's the thing with Prismacolors. I have to have like a little chart so I can actually see how the colors look. And so I feel more comfortable coloring in this book with Staedtler pencils. Because here's the thing with Staedtler. You get what you see. In other words, this pencil here that's blue, I can look at this pencil and say, okay, the color is going to be exactly what this barrel on the pencil is. And I'm confident in that. I'm not that confident with the Prismacolors, although they have nice, vibrant colors and they're creamy and they just pop. I just feel comfortable with this pencil, Staedtler, more so. Because it just hit me today. I said, I don't really need a color chart or to actually know what these colors are with the pencil because the color is actually on the barrel. What you see is what you get. And that's what I like about these pencils. So, shout out to the lady who changed my mind and had me choose Staedtler. Now, she didn't know that she was helping me to choose Staedtler for this coloring page, but anyway, she did without even knowing it. I want to thank everybody who has connected with me, who watches my videos, who has come in contact with me in any kind of way. You are so supportive, have been supportive. I just enjoy making videos on this channel. Now, some of you might know this and some of you might not know this. I do have another channel. And honestly, I don't enjoy making videos on that channel. I don't know why. But I started back uploading videos. I like the content I'm making. It's just that I don't have as much connection, I guess, with my audience as I would like to, I guess. So, but it is what it is. But this audience is much different. And I can tell that. And I also really like this type of content. And that is why I guess I don't mind making videos over here. And I do like the content on my other channel. It's just that when nobody's really paying too much attention to your videos, and I'm not the only one who thinks this, because I have friends who also make the same type of content and they be feeling the same way, it makes you not want to put videos up on a certain channel, on your channel, if nobody's really watching you. But you can't really feel like that. You know, you have to understand, why are you doing this? What's your purpose? And when you know your purpose, you'll continue to make videos regardless if you get, you know, the views that you want to have. And that's what I've come to accept, I guess. Just remember your purpose, keep doing what you're doing, and just keep going, you know. So, but one of the things you have to understand and realize that you have to actually love and enjoy what you're doing. Because if you enjoy what you're doing, you won't have to work so hard. You know, you'll do whatever it is that you are working on with happiness, with gladness. You'll be eager to do it. So I just wanted to put that out here. Thank you all for helping me reach my 4,000 watch hours. You watched my content enough to help me get the 4,000 watch hours. And that's one of the things, that requirements that YouTube has in order for you to get monetized, like fully monetized. And I'm almost there. The next step is 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. When it comes to subscribers, I don't really care about having a lot of subscribers. As long as I can reach 1,000, and then, you know, I'll be okay. Because that also is one of the requirements for monetization. But yeah, I'm not going to keep talking about that, because I know a lot of you who watch this channel, you probably don't even care about all that. But I just want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for just being so encouraging and kind with your words. You guys are the sweetest group of people I've ever met online. And I tell you, I've had my share of meeting some knuckleheads online when I had other channels, but you guys take the cake. I really, really mean that. You might also know that I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see how the pencil is looking, because I'm sitting a little farther away from the paper and I don't want to get into the frame of the camera. But I'm doing the best I can. I have my Carl pencil sharpener over to the side, and I will be using that when I need to sharpen my pencil. So I've thanked you. I have a little bullet of topics that I want to talk about as I color. So hopefully I won't miss anything. I won't miss anything, because I have it written down for you. I really like R.J. Hampson's books. I really do. I don't know. It's when I see his art, his illustrations, they pretty much make me happy and make me laugh. His art has such character, such personality. I like his art a lot. So if you're watching this video, yeah, I'm talking to you. Anybody who's taking time to watch this, let me know who your favorite illustrator is and why. There's so many out there that I have yet to cross, but as I've gotten further along in my coloring, I really, really like certain illustrators' work because, I don't know, when I first started coloring, I wouldn't have thought about even touching certain types of books because I thought, oh, that's too hard, there's too much going on. But now, as I continue to color, and I think I've said this before in some of my videos, as I continue to color, I actually really like a challenge. I love, love, love just illustrations that give me a challenge. And a lot of times, you know, it's it's the illustrations that have so much in it and take so much time. But you know, that's the beauty of coloring. You can get lost in that, and then you create something you never thought you would actually create. See, I'm talking, and I didn't mean to put this sky, make it all this color, but hey, I'm gonna go ahead and make it a little bit, make this part all this color here, because it makes things go faster, and I don't really necessarily have to be doing a lot of blending stuff. But don't get it twisted. I am going to use some more colors in this sky. But yeah, I find myself being drawn to a lot of the more intricate type of illustrations, and I'm not afraid to color them. Probably 6 months ago, I would not even dare color in a Kirby book. I wouldn't dare color in a Mel Pomini book. Or who else? Hannah Carzone. But now it's a little bit different. I'm trying to see, is that part of the sky? No, that's not part of the sky there. Okay. So right here is where I'm going to transition and change the color, but I'm going to make this edge a little bit lighter so that when I do bring some color, I can easily get it in there. Yeah. So let me know what some of your favorite coloring books are. Who are some of your favorite illustrators? Let me know. When I first started coloring, I went out and bought all kind of books because people were saying, this is the book, this is the book, I love this book. And so I was going buying stuff. If you're new to coloring, don't do that. Don't go out buying a whole lot of stuff, because you're going to realize the longer you color that you might not even like those books. So you have been warned. I recently did a purge of my books, and I donated a lot of them, especially the ones I knew I wouldn't color in. I just had to ask myself, are you going to color in this book? And before I gave them away, I looked through them and just had a serious conversation with myself, and I'm not crazy, but I looked and asked myself, do you want to color in this book? You've had this book for a long time. Do you think you're going to color in it? And the answer was always no. So I gave away a lot of books. I've donated the books to Goodwill, but I also have some that I will be giving away to you in the future when I reach my milestone of 1,000 subscribers. So I'm so excited about that, because I know some of you are going to really like the books if you win, okay? So stay tuned for that, because I'm going to be at 1,000 eventually, one day. And when that day comes, I will definitely do my giveaway. All right, so I have my blue, as much blue as I want to put here, and I'm going to put another color up in here. So as I was saying, I donated some books. I had to ask myself, I'm going in with a darker blue here, darker shade of blue up at the top. I had to ask myself, are you really going to color in this book? And I bought some books that I regretted buying, but I only bought them because everybody else has them. But going forward, I'm not going to buy books just because everybody else is talking about them or because they're new books that just came out. I'm only going to buy books if it's something that I really want and like. So, because I realized that I bought books that I don't like. And there are some books that people just rave about, and I'm like, why don't I like this? I mean, I like the art from the person, but it's not my cup of tea as far as coloring is concerned, coloring the actual illustrations. So I had to come to that realization that I personally need to just buy what I like to color and not just buy something because everybody's talking about it or raving about it or the book is new in which it has come out. Now, there's some books by illustrators that once it come out, I'm getting it no matter what because I just adore the illustrator's work. Because I think that R.J. Hampson has a new book out. But I've seen some of the illustrations and they look good, but I'm not ready to buy it just now. It'll be there for me when I'm ready to buy it. That's the way I look at it. That is the way I look at it. I wish I was like that before, but you live and you learn, you know? You live and you learn. So let me know who your favorite illustrator is. They're all talented, but you know, some of us, we vibe or the art hits different with us, you know? We're all different. We have different tastes. And it doesn't mean that that artist is not or illustrator is not a good illustrator. It's just that the art doesn't hit you. It may hit somebody else different, you know. And that just happens. And that's what I've learned. But do not go out buying a whole lot of books just because. That's one of the mistakes I made. And then I collected a lot of books that I knew that I wouldn't color in. And so I just one day went through them and took them down to Goodwill. Some of them had been colored in. And some of them, most of the books I donated were not colored in at all. So somebody's getting some really good books. Yeah. Do you know this whole month of March, I've not been on Instagram. I haven't been on social media like that. And I've gotten more coloring done this month than I did last month. And one of the reasons is because I think it's because I have not been on Instagram or any of the social media platforms. I've just been focusing on YouTube. I do still go on my Twitter account a little bit. But for the most part, I haven't been going on other platforms. I've just been utilizing YouTube. And the strange thing about it is that I've gotten more coloring done this time. So I guess what I'm realizing is that the less I'm on social media like Instagram and TikTok and all those places trying to make content, the more I color and the more I get done. And I like that. So I don't know. I may not be on those platforms too much. You know, I might not even be on there at all. So we'll see how I feel after the month of March is over. But so far, I think I don't really need to be on those platforms. I really don't. I get more done with my coloring because I'm not worried about trying to post to that particular platform. One of the things also that I found with myself is that when I'm on those platforms, especially Instagram, I compare my coloring more to others that are way ahead of me. And I start feeling bad because my coloring pages don't look that good, not good as theirs. And I start feeling bad. And since I haven't been on Instagram, I haven't been, of course, comparing my pages to other people's pages because I'm not looking at people's pages like that. So that's one of the positive things. And another positive thing that I've had happen is that, of course, I'm coloring more. I'm doing it, you know. I'm not actually committed to uploading content to another website, only YouTube, and that's really good for me. Yeah, it helps me to focus more on coloring, and I'm getting a lot of things done since I've been off the platforms. Also, this month in March, I've been coloring with one brand of colored pencils. Well, I've colored with Staedtler in the Johanna Basford's book. What's that book? Small Victories. I've colored in that book with the Staedtler pencils, I think. But most of the month, I've been coloring with Faber-Castell polychromos. That's it. And I am really understanding and learning how to use them. And what I'm also learning when it comes to pencils, I have a lot of different brands, but I like to spend time with my pencils, certain brands, to see how they work. And that's the only way for me to kind of learn how to use a pencil, is to use it multiple times. So this month in March, I've been using Faber-Castell pencils for most of the month, the polychromos, which has helped me to learn those pencils and know the colors, you know. So I like that. I really do. One thing I'm learning about myself when it comes to colored pencils is that I don't like I don't really like waxy pencils like Prisma, although Prismas are nice pencils. Don't get it twisted now. But I prefer a drier pencil, a more oil-based pencil. The Staedtler is a combination, I believe, of wax and oil, but it's not a waxy pencil to me. But yeah, I like a drier pencil for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't like pencils that are overly waxy. So, but some people don't like Staedtler, but I like Staedtler. Again, that's like with the coloring books or illustrators, we like who we like, and you know, certain things hit different for different people, you know. Everybody's unique and different. Well, I'm almost done. Let me see. Okay, I can't see. I'm trying to see where the sky is here. I'm trying to see where the sky is. There we go. Now, this dark sky, I wouldn't usually put a darker blue at the top. I would usually put a lighter color at the top, but I'm thinking outside the box. I'm doing something a little bit different. Yeah, I'm switching it up. I sure am. All right, where's some more sky at here? Here we go. That's the wood there. Okay. So let me know in the comments, if you made it this far, let me know what your, is that wood or what? That's wood. Oop, I messed up. Let me know what your favorite colored pencils are. My favorite colored pencils are polychromos. I do like prismas, but if I had to choose between the two, it'd have to be polychromos. And my lower end pencils that I really like, that's more budget friendly, I like my Staedtler and I like my Hampson, my Asian pencils. That's it. Those are my favorite, but I use others. But those are the ones that I reach for the most because I do like a drier pencil. I do like a pencil that is not so waxy. Okay, I'm going to finish this part up and I need to take a break. I need to give my camera a break because it's getting a little bit hot and I have to let it cool off. So I'm going to take a break here in just a second. I'm trying to see here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I think I have everything. I'm going to take a break and let my camera cool off. And I'm going to, while I'm doing that, I'll be seeing what I need to do with this sky. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I am all done. My camera is all cooled off. Look at this. I need to get me some pencil extenders. Look at this. This is a Prisma pencil. It's a white one. I'm going to use a white pencil. I'm going to go over the background with Prismacolor white, okay? I do have another Prismacolor white, but I'm trying to get all of my usage out of this pencil. So I need to sharpen it right quick. I'm using my Carl one. Uh-oh. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah. I have another pencil sharpener. Let me get that. Hold on. Okay. I got this pencil sharpener, but I don't really like using this pencil sharpener. I've noticed that when I use this, my lead breaks. It does. It doesn't matter what pencil I'm sharpening in here. Yeah. So anyway, I just noticed that because I used, I think it was a Staedtler pencil sharpener not too long ago, and it broke my lead in my Faber-Castell polychromos, and it also broke my lead here in both, and also in this one too. So that's when I decided, let me just bring out my Carl pencil sharpener and use that. And I haven't had any problems. Nothing breaks. When I say break, I'm talking about breaking right in here and the lead just coming out. What I'm about to do now is go over the blue with the white to kind of like clean it up. This is like my blending pencil, so to speak. So that's what I'm doing here. And go in here and just go over with the white. The white is going to change the color a little bit. Not too much, but to me it just cleans it up a bit. This is where some people might use a blending pencil. But I don't use a blending pencil too much like I used to. I just go in with a white pencil or something that is lighter. Like for instance, if I was only coloring this part here, I would go in with a lighter blue on top of here. And that would be my finishing up first type of thing. So I'm just going over the sky with my white Prisma pencil. I do have a white, I lost my white pencil, my Staedtler, but I do have a Staedtler Ergo Soft white pencil. But I didn't want to use that. I wanted to use my Prismacolor white pencil because I really like it. I really like it. It works very well, in my opinion. So I reach for it. And I don't care if the colors intertwine or whatever, intermingle. And I'm talking about the different shade of blue. Because the sky sometimes is not all one color, right? It'll have different colors interspersed throughout the sky. And it could be blue, but it could be oranges and pinks and all kind of stuff, colors in the sky. But using a white pencil, I find it smooths everything out, makes things look a little bit better to me. And I can't get enough of using a white pencil or any pencil that's lighter. Now, if I wanted this to be a little darker, then I would go in with maybe a gray, like a light shade of gray. And that would change the way the blue looks as well. But white is fine with me. And also when I'm going in with this white, it actually is covering the tooth of the paper. Somewhat. It's covering the tooth of the paper. Okay. So I'm going to go throughout here, finish it up, and let you watch. Make sure you have you a white Prism pencil. It comes in handy. Now I'm going to go into the darker blue here and jazz that up a bit. Sharpen this little tiny pencil here. All right. This is my secret weapon, a lighter colored pencil. It changes how things look tremendously. So you can use a white pencil for a blender. I'm sure most of you already know that. But if you're new to coloring like I am, when you learn stuff like that, it's like, wow, I didn't know I can use my white pencil. Why am I going out here buying all these blenders? Because I don't use a blending pencil. I used to. I went out and bought a lot of them, but, you know, at least I have them and I can use them if I need to. But what I do is I go over something with a lighter shade of whatever it is that I've used. But see, I wanted to change the color of the blue here. I don't want it to be too dark. And that's why I'm going over the darker blue with the white. It kind of changed the appearance of it somewhat. And of course, to get in here and cover the white flakes or flecks of the paper that one can see. Okay, I think I've done everything that I want to do. And so this is it. The next elements that I will be coloring are the trees, the leaves, the flowers, and I will start with the trees. Also, I realized while doing this video and coloring the sky that it is hard for me to talk and color at the same time. It actually holds me up. So what I'll be doing going forward, I will be talking, but it will be a voiceover. All right. So I'm starting off with these two colors here. Using a darker brown on here and a little more of a reddish brown here. All right. So here I go. Maybe I will go in with this lighter brown first and let the brown, darker brown color be my shading type of color here. All right. Here we go. I said that I didn't want to talk, didn't I? But I feel like I want to talk about something. thank you. Also, I want to thank you again. I keep thanking y'all, but this is something different. I thank you for supporting me on the live stream. I really appreciate that, you coming out and watching. Yeah. I enjoy doing the live streams. I really do. And here I am talking. I'm just going to talk. I'll be talking periodically. And when I don't talk, of course, it'll be a voiceover and a little bit of music. But what I'm doing now is I'm going in and coloring the trees. I will go over this a little bit with a darker color. So I'm not coloring this too dark. My pressure is not too heavy because I know I want to come in with some more color. And that's what I'm learning too, is that I need to be light-handed with my pencils because I like to layer on other more colors. And so I have to be light-handed with it. When I first started coloring, I didn't know all that. I would just color. And then I started learning that, hey, you can layer colors and you can make it be what you want it to be. And that's what I actually do now. I put in more colors. And with the Staedtler pencils, you can do that. You just have to make sure that you don't color too heavy. Because with any pencil, if you go in too heavy and you want to layer, you're not going to be able to do it like you really want to do it, you know? So you have to make sure you go in light-handed. You can go in heavy-handed, especially if you know that's what you want to do. That's the type of pressure you want to apply. But if I know that I'm going to be using more colors, then I go in light. I have a light hand. I can't tell you how many times I've gone in with the heavy hand and I said, okay, let me put another color on here. But then that pencil, it doesn't take anymore because I put too much pressure down for it to go through. That's right. And I said I wasn't going to talk, but I'm talking. Yeah. As I said earlier, I knew that most people like to hear the person talk because, you know, you can learn from the person. They can tell you what they're doing. And sometimes some of us are visual learners and some of us are not visual learners. You know, we can get it by just watching you, but that's a visual learner. But some of us also like to hear it. And some of us are auditory learners. And for me, I think I'm both. I'm coloring this snail. You got in the way, little snail. Okay. But I'm the type of person when it comes to learning, I can see you doing it. Is that the snail? He all off in here good. I can learn by watching, but I also learn by you explaining what you're doing. Because sometimes it's hard to watch somebody and try to figure out how they did what they did, you know? And to have somebody explain it is always a good thing. All right. It looks like there's more of the tree down here, but that's where the darker brown will go down here. Now this snail got me. Okay. This snail got me. All right. I think I've got everything almost over here. And yeah, I said that I wasn't going to be talking, but when I start coloring, words just come out. So I'm gonna roll with it. I never thought that I would have an art channel, a coloring channel. I never thought that. Sometimes things just fall into your lap, meaning that when I actually started coloring, I had no intentions of starting a coloring channel. I didn't even know there was such thing as a channel like this until I started looking up how to do certain things with coloring. And then I found a whole new big old community of people who like to color. I sure did. So you never know what you'll be doing. Sometimes we do things we had no intentions of doing. That was not in the plan. This might be a greenery here, but I'm coloring it brown. And I said I wasn't going to be talking, but I'm talking. As I was telling you about me not being on social media, I've gotten more coloring done since I haven't been on Instagram. I kind of feel pressured sometimes when I'm on Instagram to post. And I don't always like to post my stuff, you know. It may not look like it, like I don't like to post, but I don't really like to post anything not on Instagram. I don't mind sharing what I've colored on my community tab here on YouTube, but I don't really like to do that on the social media platform. And I guess again, the reason I don't is because I fall into the comparison trap. And I feel like, well, why am I sharing this? And that's my question to myself. What's the purpose of me sharing this? I'm not an illustrator. I'm just somebody who colors. I'm not somebody who is a great colorist. I'm just doing this as I'm an amateur. So, but I feel less pressure now for coloring because I'm not posting, feeling like I need to post on the platform. And that's always a good thing. At least I think so. I have more confidence with coloring since I haven't been on social media like that. Okay, so I think I have almost everything colored that I want to color with this shade of brown here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darker shade of brown and go over it. Okay, I think I have everything. If I miss something, I guess I know I'll catch it. Now I'm going to go in with my darker shade of brown here. Maybe I need to do a darker brown because that's not looking like it's dark. Let me get another dark brown here. Let's see. Yeah. This isn't dark enough, so I'm switching it over. Now I can see it. I could see the brown, but it was not dark enough. Now what I'm doing, I'm just going over where I want shading it and where I left that out for shading, and also just where I want shading it. Mostly where RJ Hampson has the little double lines is where I'm putting the darker brown. Oh, that's wrong. That's the mushroom. Lord, I can't see nothing. I'm still going to have, the mushroom is going to have a little brown anyway. You don't necessarily have to do this. You can color straight and not put any shadows. But I kind of like doing shadows. I really do. Yeah, I won't go over this with a white pencil, but I will go over it with a pencil. But it won't be a white pencil. You'll see. Because I don't really know what color I'm going to use. But I know I'm not going to use a white pencil. Because I don't want the brown color to change all that much. I have to occasionally turn off my camera so it doesn't get too hot. That's what I've been doing while I'm coloring. I have to go in here and turn off the camera a bit. The paper in this book is kind of thin. This is the regular book. It's not the hardback or anything. But yeah, you don't have to go in here and do different colors. You can just use one color. But I'm always extra. Sometimes. Sometimes I just color straight. When I say straight, it's just one color. I'm not trying to do much of anything but get color on that particular element. I think I have everything the way I want it to be. I think. And now I'm going to go over all this with a different color, a lighter color. So I have my lighter color here, and I'm just going to go over the whole entire brown. All the brown that I use, it'll be covered with this pencil here. I'm not coloring too hard, but I want to cover where I need color to be. Let me see some. I'm trying to see what this is here. Some of this stuff is running in to each other. I don't know what it is. Okay. But you see when I added this color, it changed it a bit. That's what I talk about blending. When I say I don't really use a blender, I'll go in with a lighter color. I guess this is a form of blending though. Had I colored too hard, this color I wouldn't be able to put this color down per se. It wouldn't take on the paper because I would have had too much color on here. You know, like too hard of pressure would have been on here. But since I didn't put a lot of pressure, I can go in with another color. I am putting more pressure now. I know I'm not going to come over with another color. So this is my final color on this tree stuff. But it is a lighter color or a lighter shade of brown than the other browns that I used. That's how I color. That's my little trick. I guess it's not really a trick, but that's what I do when I don't want to use a blending pencil or anything like that. Because I kind of want it to be a different color anyway. And that's what I'm doing here. Look, I'm still trying to color the child. What is it? Oh, that's the tree. That's part of the tree. It's just hard to tell. And put a little bit of the darker brown there. Okay. All right, let me move on. Let me move on to my other parts. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going over the white flecks or tooth of the paper, the white little spots I see that are not really covered. Didn't get all that covered because I didn't put a lot of pressure down, which is a good thing. It allows me to be able to use another color. It is coming together. It is coming together. I like this color the way it looks now. Yep, I do. I didn't choose a color palette or anything. A lot of times I just color. And most of the time I just color off the cuff. I don't have colors chosen. Sometimes I do, but most of the times I don't. I just go with the flow and what goes together. I'm thinking that's a leaf. That's why I didn't color it brown. But yeah, I normally go with the flow. Sometimes I do use the color wheel. And I go with the color wheel and see what is complementary to another color. And I go from there. And I do have the little, what is it, the cards from Susan Clark. I've used those a few times. But I guess I'm just the type of person that likes to pick colors as they go. And think outside the box some. Okay, I'm almost done. Ooh, I gotta come over. Oh. That just looks like a tree to me. I don't know why, but that's part of the mushroom. I'm almost done. I can't wait to color the leaves. I have all that. Next, I'm moving to the leaves. Okay. I'm going in with the darker green, and I'm going to line my leaves here. Just a darker green. Even though the line is thin, I'm going to make it a thicker line so it can be seen. I want it to be seen. Yes, I do. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to do that for all of my leaves. I outline them or line the green part in a darker shade of green. I meant to tell you about the Bob Ross. I have the Bob Ross that I am working on. I'm going to do that. It's already done. But what I'm going to do, I'm working on my own website. So I'm going to have it on available on my website. And as soon as I get that done, then I will let you guys know as soon as my site is ready. Once I've launched it and everything. Because I want to have a newsletter. So I'm going to have a newsletter and everything. But that's why I haven't finished getting everything together with the Bob Ross color key using Prismacolors, because I want to have it on my site where you can come and download it, you know. All right, so I have all of my leaves here, but I'm also, I think these leaves here are going to be a different color. Okay, so I have everything done there. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter green. Going in with the lighter color. Well, a lighter shade of green. And I'm not going to color it all the way out because I want to put another color here at the end, or on the edge of the leaves here. So, and that other color that I'm going to use will be a lighter shade of green. I'm just going to here and getting the color here. It doesn't take long to do this, but I gotta move kind of fast. All right. I don't think this illustration really takes that long to color. What takes long is filming and making sure everything is okay. That's what it takes a while to do, is to film and also try to have something to say. Or more than likely, I'll be doing I'm trying to see what this is. I guess that's a leaf. I'll be trying to do a voiceover anyway. That will make it a little bit easier. But I'm going in with this green, and I'm going to have a lighter green on the edge of the leaves here. But this green is lighter than what I used to outline the veins of the leaf. I call it veins. Everything's coming together pretty nicely, I think. With my camera, it keeps getting hot. I have to kind of stop because I notice when it gets hot, it tends to, the camera gets dark. Like I don't have enough light. So I'm having to kind of shut it off at certain points so that I can have the lighting that I want to have. Okay, we got that leaf. Gotta get this leaf. Now my pressure here is a little bit heavier. I started off light here, but I didn't really like the way that looked as far as the light is concerned. But I'm gonna go over it anyway. Go back over it with a lighter color because I want to get that lighter color on the edge, on the tippy ends of the leaf. Now what's that? I guess that's blue. No, that's brown. I don't know. It looks like it should be blue. No, brown. Anyway, it looks like something should be there that I missed. I'm just getting all my leaves colored. And I can leave them like this, but I don't want to do that. I want to seal the deal with a lighter shade, which would be kind of like a blending color. You'll see. Now I have a green like this that's light, but it's not lighter than this one. It's a shade lighter, but it's not, I don't think it'll make a difference if I use that one on here. So I'm going to have to go really light. I could use yellow if I want to. Okay, so I have all of my leaves done. Now I'm going to come in with another green color. Okay, I have my lighter green that I'm going to use here. I'm just going to go over it, mainly on the edge here. That's where I want the lighter shade of green to be. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm just going over it with this lighter shade of green. And I'm doing it mainly, this color is on the edge of the leaf. Okay, and I'm gonna go back in here with another color, but I'm putting a lighter color on the edge of the leaf. Now this part, you can keep it white if you want to, but I don't want to do that. But you could do that if you would like to, if that's what you want. But I'm going to also go in with another color to seal the deal here. Okay. You can probably tell this pencil was sharpened with my other long point pencil sharpener. Yeah, you probably can tell that because my lead is long on the pencil. The thing about that pencil sharpener, I like it, but it's not a pointy. It doesn't make your pencils with a sharp point, but that's fine. The lead lasts a long time. I don't have to always keep sharpening it. It stays long. The long point lasts a long time. Okay, there we go there. Just going around the edges here with this lighter shade of green. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna go in with a white color. I don't know, because I want it to kind of look a certain way. We'll see. We will see. Y'all know that Mr. Kirby Rosanis is coming out with a new book. And I ordered it, I pre-ordered it, but I realized that the book is going to have a lot of the same pages that he has in his other books. It's a compilation. But I ordered it anyway because I really like his art, his illustrations. He's really good. I like it. It's just a lot to color, but once you finish, I know once I finish, I feel so it's rewarding. It's a great feeling to complete the page, especially when you look at it and see how much you have to color. But it's like, I think with coloring his pages, I don't get tired. I guess because the art is not boring to me. Some books I color in, I get tired because the illustrations are boring and tedious sometimes. And I get bored and I said, man, I have to stop. And then with his book, of course I take a break and I stop, but I don't do it because I'm tired. But some people's art, I don't mind coloring. I don't care if they have a ton of things on there. I just take I bite off a little bit of it at a time or color it a little bit at a time. All right, I'm going to let my camera cool off, and when I come back, I'm going to go over this with another color to seal the deal. Okay, I decided to use a white pencil to go over my leaves. So that's what I'm going to do. A little lid broke a little bit. The white changes the color some. That's why I'm using white. Got my leaves done. Now on to the flowers. Starting with the yellow. Now I'm gonna get a darker shade and I'm gonna put it a little bit in here. So now I'm ready to color the flowers. I'm gonna do pink here. I'm first gonna do a darker here. I normally start with light, but I think it's whatever floats my boat as far as when I do color and what I do. Well, most of the time I start with the lighter color, as you've seen. And notice I'm not using a heavy hand with this, because I'm coming in with another color. I wanted to come in with pink and yellow because I didn't actually see I needed these colors in here to give it some type of balance. At least that's what I was thinking. And as you can see, when I put that pink on here, it makes things pop a little bit more. What I like about the Staedtler pencils is that the lead on the pencil is very skinty. And you can get into the tiniest areas when you really sharpen it to a really sharp point. I like that. That's one of the reasons also why I like using Staedtler pencils. Okay, so now I'm ready to go in with a lighter pink here. Go in with the white pencil over these leaves here. Notice how the leaves look a little bit different now that I am applying the white pencil. If I would have had a heavier hand, then the color of the greenery that you see here would be darker. But I went in with a light hand because I didn't want them to be too dark. Keep that in mind. But this white pencil, it is amazing. I love it. Next, I'm going to color the snail. I'm going in with a lighter shade of gray on top of the snail's body, I guess, the slimy part. And I'm also going to use a darker shade of gray as well. And I really don't know how to color the shell. I'm just going for broke here, just doing what I want to do. And this is a lighter shade of red, I think, kind of like a reddish brown. Now I'm going in with a yellow to kind of give it a gold looking color and more of a reddish brown here. So I am coloring this snail and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing the best that I can for the snail that's on the side of the tree. Now it's time to color the fungi, and I know I'm saying it incorrectly. That's how I learned it in my biology classes, but I know it's pronounced fungi. Okay, so I'm coloring some fungus, all right, and I am using a red color and I'm using a light hand because I'm going to go back over this with a darker shade. I don't have a lot of experience with coloring fungi or fungi, but that's something that I think is fun to color, by the way. But yeah, I'm having fun coloring these. Now I have a darker shade of red and I'm going in and putting some shadows on my fungus. That's what I'm doing. As you can see, my pressure is a little bit heavier here to the outside, and then I'm putting a little bit of the color on the top of the fungi. fungi. And I think when I add the shading to it, it makes the little fungi, the fungus, pops. I think fungus is plural, fungi or fungi is singular, just so you know. And that's what I'm doing here, just putting my little darker shade of red to make the little things pop. Now I'm going in and adding brown under the bottom where the gills of the fungi are. And I'm also putting brown on the stem, a darker brown color on the stem, and going in with a darker red, shade of red, I believe. I think that's what that is. Yeah, I'm trying to think outside the box since I don't really color these types of elements a lot. Now, I'm going over this with my white pencil. The white pencil will help me to fill in the white spaces or the tooth of the paper, but I don't really want too much of the tooth of the paper to be covered because I want that little whiteness to kind of peek through and to shine. And that's what I'm doing here. Mr. Fogherty has a can, and I am using yellow to make this can pop. Inside of this can is Mr. Fogherty's bait. I am using a darker color to do the shadow, to make it have more depth. But you know, I use yellow to make that can pop. And after I am finished, I'm going to go back over this with yellow with a heavier hand. I want this can to pop. Now inside of this can is Mr. Fogherty's his bait. I'm using a lighter shade of gray, and then I am also going in with some orange for the head and the tail of the body of the bait, which is the earthworm. And then I'm going to go in with a darker shade of gray. Now it is time to color these trees, and I am using a darker shade at the base of the tree, and I'm going in with a green color, but this green color is a darker shade, and I am light-handed. My pressure is very light because I know that I want to come in with another shade of green, but it would be perfectly fine to do the tree like this, or the bushes, trees like this, and just leave it like this. But I don't want to do that because you know I'm extra and I have to use a little bit more color, and that's why I'm light-handed. The next color that I'm using is a lighter shade of green. So you know I'm going in to seal the deal here pretty much. Now, I could leave it like this too. Just leave it like it is. But I like to have a little bit more color. That's why I colored initially with a lighter hand when I applied the green to the trees, because I knew I was coming in with another green. So when you're coloring, make sure you use a light hand, especially if you know you want to use more colors on your element that you're coloring. So now I'm giving it a little bit more pressure because I want to seal the deal. Now this is a lighter shade, and you know that's how I roll. That is how I roll. Mr. Fogherty has some extra stuff with him. He has his bag, which I'm going to assume is his lunch box, okay? I am using a brown for the bag, and I have a light hand. And then I'm going to go in with a lighter shade of brown to give it a little bit of a pop, I would say. But I have that light color here that I'm applying, and I'm using that for the straps and on the side of the bag as well. I don't know. When I see this, I think his little man purse, his little lunch box. I don't know. I'm going in with a darker shade of brown so that I can create a little bit more depth, shadow. And I guess I'm using the terminology correctly. I don't know. But now I'm going to use a lighter color for the little buttons or knobs that are on the bag here. Mr. Fogherty has him a cup of tea, okay? And I'm going in with a lighter shade of gray and darker shade of gray. And then, of course, whatever he's drinking is brown, right? Now I'm going in and hitting that grass. The grass is going to be a different shade of green. I'm making that grass, but that could be a hill with a little bit of brown in it or whatever you like. And I'm using a lighter shade of green here. And then I'm going to go in with a darker shade of green. And you see that here. I know it seems like it's a lot of green, but the beauty of this is that you can make the greens be different shades by what you use as far as blenders or white pencil, as you see here. So I'm going in with my white Prisma pencil to make this green grass here on the hill look a little bit different than the other greens that we have in this illustration. Now check it out. I am coloring the grass that Mr. Fogherty is sitting on, which is also the bank of the river, pond, wherever he's at fishing. I'm coloring it with a darker shade of green, and I'm going to do that all over in this area. Here I'm applying a darker green, like the darkest green I have, to the shadow areas. And I'm going to go back in and finish it up with the green that I was using initially. You know I had to grab my lighter green, and that's what I'm applying here, the lighter green. And that's going to seal the deal for me, I think. Now it's time to color the bank. I'm going in with a shade of gray, kind of like a darker shade of gray. And I'm going to use different shades of grays and browns for this bank here. And that's what you see me doing here. I'm using a little bit of a reddish brown here. And I don't know what colors I really use, you'll see. But I just used a lot of different colors for this because I wanted to make it stand out and pop. And so I'm using another shade of a gray, as you can see here. I think that's a gray. And then of course it's a bank, so I wanted to have a little bit of brown in it, you know. So that's why I had that little reddish brown. And I'm just going in and filling that in there, as you can see. Now it's time to color the water. I am using a lighter shade of a turquoise looking blue, and I am applying this all over the area, the water area, the pond where Mr. Fogherty is fishing. And I'm lightly doing this because, as you know, I will be using more colors. So now I'm going in with a darker shade of I would say like a turquoise aqua type of color. And I'm putting the darker shade in different areas. I'm putting that where I want it to go. I don't know about you, but I do like coloring water, even though I don't know what I'm doing half of the time. But what is so amazing is how the water turns out after you have finished coloring it. I never expect what I see. Now I'm going over this with a lighter shade, and now I'm going to take my white Prisma pencil and go over this to kind of give it a different shade of watercolor. And when I say watercolor, I'm not talking about watercolor, but the actual color of the water. I'm just going over it with my white pencil to give it a different type of look. Now it is time to pull out the white Posca pen, and I am using this pen for the little ripples and little waves that you see in the pond. You can use a gel pen if you like. I prefer to use a Posca pen sometimes for these things, but you know, it really depends on your colored pencil. You know, can the gel pen show up over your colored pencil? If not, you might want to use a Posca pen. Now it is time to color the star of the show, Mr. Fogherty. I am using a lighter shade of green, and I am using a light hand. And I'm applying this everywhere there is Mr. Fogherty's skin. Notice that I have a different shade of green that I'm applying to Mr. Fogherty, and I'm applying this in certain areas where I want a shadow to be. Notice that I am coming in with a different shade of green, and I am using this to cover Mr. Fogherty's whole face, as well as the other parts of his body. Now I'm going in with a dark shade of green, and I am putting it where I applied the other green so that I can put a little bit of shading in that area. And I'm doing it all over in just little areas that I think I need that. Now I'm going in with a different shade of green, and I'm applying this all over Mr. Fogherty. Not in the area where I put the shading, but just in certain areas. And I'm going to put this around his eye. And I'm taking a darker shade and going between the webs of the toes or the feet. You know what I'm saying. And I'm putting a little bit more green in certain areas as well. And notice that these are different shades of green. Now it's time to get Mr. Fogherty together. And I am starting at the top of his head with his hat. I am using different shades of purple, and his outfit will be decked out with purples and yellow and grays and black, or kind of like a slate gray. Yeah, so that is it. I am not going to go through all of the colors because you can see that as I color what Mr. Fogherty will be decked out with. That is it. Enjoy the rest of the video. I am all done with coloring Mr. Fogherty. This is the rest and recreation page, and I enjoyed coloring this page. I think it turned out so good. And of course, you know I used the Staedtler colored pencils. Check it out. He's decked out with his purple and gold, just chilling, getting his fishing on. Yes, check it out. All right. There we go. When you enjoy what you're coloring, you're going to really color it. Okay? All right. That's all I have to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep coloring. Bye.